All right. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Osborne. It's time for another get together with us. And look, let's get it done in 21, right? So thank you for all your feedback. And I just want to let you know, I know Dr. Doss talked about commitment. And if that's number one, number two's got to be your family. I mean, a lot of times we wonder, I always wonder, why do people leave their kids and their spouse at home to discover the same consequences, the same health problems that they have? Look, we got generational curses that have been passed down long enough. That ends right now. And, I made the decision that even though my grandparents had heart disease, I had a sister and a father who had cancer, and my father and my grandmother had Alzheimer's. That ends now, right? I can lead myself, I can lead my family, and I can lead my kids down a road of experiencing real health and experiencing real life to the fullest. So we don't have to be a victim to disease. We can experience real health. We can achieve our purpose on this earth. Look, my dad instilled in me incredible values, right? He started me on the right path when I was young, and now that I'm older, I try to not stray from him. He never really understood the value of health, though. And I understand it, and keep it as one of my highest values. Proverbs 22:6 said that you start your children off on the way that they should go. And even when they're old, they won't turn from it. So as a constant reminder of what my dad instilled in me, and a reminder to do the same thing for my son, my wife gave me a ring once it talked about that Proverbs 22. And I share this with you as an assignment. Don't leave your family, don't leave your children behind to suffer the same consequences, the same problems that you had. We hold health as a high regard. We hold it in our house and we hold it in our lives. We know that there is no good to our family or purpose if we're sick or dead, right? And I think that's a really important thing that we have to remember is that, if we're sick or dead, there's nothing left. So right now, I just want to encourage you guys, we really want to just focus on this time and in our lives, right? Of building health, not focusing on sickness and disease, and not even building sickness and disease. Look, moms, dads, it's time for us to lead our family. It's time for us to stop those generational curses. It's not your genes. Look, God, the producer, didn't screw up on you, right? He created you to be healthy, and that you can break those curses, and you can decide from here, on out that your family tree is going to be a healthy family tree, and it's not going to wither away. It's not going to crumble. And look, we don't have to suffer anymore. We're going to uproot this family tree, and we're going to plant it in healthy soil in order to do one thing, and that's to experience real health. Because what is our most valuable asset, right? It definitely is not our 401k. It's not our cars. Because if we lose our 401k in our cars and we're healthy, we can get it back. So what do we do now if our body is expressing symptoms, right? A stressed out, run down, undernourished immune system. It really is just this surefire way to leave your immune system at risk. If people ask me how I'm doing, great. Whether you're expressing symptoms right now, it's just time to take care of yourself, right? It's time to take care of your defense system. It's there for a purpose. And there's this panic that seems to be circling our society right now about getting sick. And this points to a big need. It points to a big need to be more proactive, a more proactive approach on giving the body what it actually needs to thrive right now. So the flu, whether it's the normal flu, it's the common cold, whether it's COVID, they're all respiratory-driven illnesses. And yes, they can be fatal if not properly addressed, especially if there are underlying immune complications, okay? But our traditional approach, the traditional medical approach is to wait till we have symptoms and to use medications and vaccines. Look, let's just go back in the past. Effectiveness studies on past flu vaccines, they show that there's a 10 to 17, that was in 2008, a 10 to 17% effectiveness rate against the flu virus strain that caused over 80% of the flu cases. What that means is that 100 out of 1,000 vaccinated people that got the flu compared to 90 out of 1,000 vaccinated people, 90 out of 100,000 people that got vaccinated, right? So let me go back. The effectiveness was actually shown to be higher in other prominent strains, but basically it's pretty much the same whether you were vaccinated or not. Either way, the history of man has something else worked out. And it's too early to put all of our eggs in this one vaccine basket. And I probably would say it's not a really smart idea. In fact, a few weeks ago, the British Medical Journal editor, he questioned actually the results of Pfizer's 95% effectiveness. And now that they've actually released some of the data, they're estimating that the effectiveness of this new COVID vaccine from Pfizer is as low as 19%. It's kind of funny, though, that now that it's out, they released the data, and Dr. Fauci said they wouldn't even release a vaccine which was less than 50% effective. By the way, most scientists agree, and they're in agreement that no one, there's no real significant data even yet showing that the current vaccine actually even reduces transmission. The best evidence right now shows that it might lower or lessen your symptoms. But the good news, your immune system is already 99.7% effective. And it's effective at protecting you already as long as you take care of that. But we'll talk more on this stuff about a different time. But the conversation that I believe that we need to switch to is not one of for or against the vaccine, but what is the most effective and least toxic way that we can prevent anyone from being harmed by a flu, cold, or COVID? I mean, how do we get real health, right? How do we get real health to produce healthy people in the short and the long term? Well, I guess the biggest key for you to understand is that having a strong immune system is what keeps you from getting sick, right? That's how you avoid getting sick. Remember, we talked about the Strong Host. We had the Strong Host t-shirts. Building a strong immune system is one of the most vital aspects to living this abundant life free of illnesses and disease. When you think about it, bacteria and viruses, they're everywhere. And thankfully, a strong body with a strong immune system is designed to fight off these illnesses. So I wanted to talk to you about some ways that you can strengthen your immune system, some like practical and tactical things that you can do. So I guess it's what you and your family can do to not only get well, but stay well this year and during this time. And it's really simple, right? What's the focus, right? Strengthening your immune system from the inside out. There's a couple ways that I think are super important. There was the number one thing I'll always talk about is avoid sugar. Nancy Appleton, she was an author of a book called Lick the Sugar Habit, and she gave 76 ways that sugar actually affects your health. And she referenced over 111 studies. But here are a few of the reasons why you want to avoid sugar like it's the plague, right? Sugar suppresses your immune system and it impairs your defenses against infectious disease. Kind of important at this time. Sugar can also contribute to autoimmune diseases such as arthritis and asthma and multiple sclerosis. It also contributes to things like irregular and uncomfortable bowel movements. I hear people talk about all the time that they're constipated and they're trying to find, what do I take for my constipation? Maybe it's what you should stop taking. Do you know that sugar can actually contribute to hemorrhoids and varicose veins because of the inflammation there? And if your immune defenses get triggered, you shouldn't rely on cold medications. When you get sick, the fever and the cough and the runny nose, they're there for a reason, right? Your body doesn't make any mistakes. They're there for a reason. They're there to help you fight and eliminate any illness. So if you rely on cold medications, you're probably affecting the strength of your immune system. You know, there was a study at the University of Maryland, and what it did is it showed that people who try to break their fever when they get a cold, they stay sick 3.5 days longer than people that actually let the fever run its course. Look, God doesn't make any mistakes. Your body doesn't make any mistakes. Unfortunately, it's all cause and effect. And unfortunately, we violate the laws of health. Now, I also want us to talk about learning to de-stress naturally. Maybe that's what I'll take a deep dive into tomorrow. But anxiety and stress, it's going to contribute to a weaker immune system. And so when you're stressed or you're anxious, you need to find an activity that's going to calm your nerves, like yoga or reading or meditating. For me, it's been exercise today. But when we do activities that relax you, you're going to start to believe in yourself, and you're going to start to change your negative thoughts into positive ones. Like I said, I exercised today, and the reason being is I didn't really feel like it, but I exercised because exercise is proven to be an immune system booster there. Exercise helps reduce stress. It helps to boost white blood cells. It helps to increase oxygen carrying capacity in your body. And that's why we do what we call high-intensity exercising, surge exercises. So watch on the Facebook page. Dr. Doss posts them every single day. Exercising at a high intensity for 12 minutes a day, it's going to help you save time as well as burn fat. build lean muscle, and it'll really allow your body to have the energy it needs to function at a higher level. So let's get some proper sleep every night. That's going to allow your body to heal, and it's one of the most important things in building a strong immune system. Look, Netflix doesn't care about your immune system, okay? You know, like Netflix has probably caused more people to get sick during this time than just about anything else. Because when you're sleep deprived, your body doesn't have enough time to heal. In fact, I read something once that said that the hours that you sleep before 12 o'clock are worth twice those after 12 o'clock. So I want to talk about a couple of things that are like remedies for the flu or feeling bad that are really an alternative to drugs that people are taking out there. So oregano oil, about 200 milligrams. Make sure you put it into like something like a coconut oil. It has strong antimicrobial, antifungal, antiviral properties. In fact, what's interesting is oregano oil is probably almost more important in preventing colds and flu complications than it is combating the virus itself. It's been shown to be just as effective as antibiotics. And guess what? Without any of the side effects of antibiotics. As a precaution, just make sure you cut that, like I said, that olive oil the oregano oil with olive oil or coconut oil to increase the surface area effectiveness and decrease the irritation of it. I actually took a couple of drops and I thought my mouth was on fire. So from personal experience, make sure that you put it in another oil to just kind of dilute it a bit. And also never use like commercial sources of it. Another great thing, and I'm a huge fan of this, but vitamin D, 5 to 10,000 units daily, depending on your blood levels and depending on your size. It's about 1,000 units minimum for every 35 pounds of weight. There's a huge correlation, a direct correlation, and common sense says that the flu is almost exclusively present in colder winter months. The correlation between proper vitamin D levels and flu prevention is probably one of the most well-studied natural alternatives out there. In fact, several countries are actually recommending for COVID that their people get their vitamin D levels up to the normal level to prevent it. But low vitamin D levels, they've been shown to increase flu and infections. You become depressed when your vitamin D levels. Vitamin D is an anti-inflammatory. But the people that live where vitamin D is essential, they find that looks like somebody's trying to call me. Sorry. It plays a vital role in recovering and protecting further flu complications as well. You might have seen we have something called IM in the office. But it has elderberry there. But it's elderberry is one of our most powerful antiviral herbs. And it's an antioxidant, it's a flavonoid, and it's been shown to increase the body's immune system, really to increase our body's defense. And this literally proves to be one of the best flu fighters that's out there. And there was recently I saw something that was talking about elderberry research, and it said that like people that are taking elderberry can resolve a flu in a short of just 2 days there. The good news is it's more effective than a lot of these dangerous medications that are out there, and there's not a lot of it doesn't even have the side effects of with Tamiflu, for example, of psychological disturbance and delusion. So the good old-fashioned one, echinacea, 300 to 900 milligrams, really depending on your body weight. But it's a true cold and flu fighter. Echinacea is great because it shortens the duration and severity of colds and upper respiratory infections, and really when it's given as soon as symptoms become evident. So make sure all of this is inside the IM. I put a link down below for some of the resources or more information on immune boosting supplements there that directs you right to the website. But on top of that, this echinacea, it's been great for anti-inflammatory, it's great for concentration, it's great for asthma and more. So really to get that proper therapeutic dose, you have to make sure that typically find that supplementation as a drink or a tea seems not to get high enough concentration. It's usually in the pill form. Number one for me always is chiropractic care. The average person, the central nervous system is the master controller of all the function of your body, including your immune system. In fact, studies have actually shown that a chiropractic adjustment alters the central nervous system and has a profound effect on short and long-term immune system, cold and flu prevention. In fact, they did one study in which they found that the average person that's getting adjusted on a regular basis is their immune system's 200 to 400 times stronger than the average population. So next Wednesday, we're all in. We're doubling up on our adjustments. We're going to get your immune boosting adjustments. Vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams, multiple times a day. And it's a staple known by most, and it's been significantly shown to reduce cold and flu-like symptoms when taken properly. See, when people that have taken vitamin C, in one study, they found that there was an 85% of reduction in symptoms when taking high doses of vitamin C. So the easiest way to find your maximum effective dose, take about 1,000 milligrams every several hours until you start to experience loose stools, and then just back off, right? So avoid sugar-filled sources, and especially they use a lot of the high fructose corn syrup in some of those things. Because remember, sugar works against your immune system, and it works against you being able to absorb vitamin D. The American Cancer Association actually has shown a direct link between increased sugar intake and the weakening of your immune system because of the inflammation that it causes. Like cancer levels increase with an increased carbohydrate diet, let alone colds and flu. So look, if you're going to do one thing, just say no to sugar. But a diet like superfoods like antioxidants and blueberries and green leafy vegetables, citrus fruits, especially and healthy fats this is your formula to ward off immune system dysfunction. That's why we teach the advanced plan. But if you want to start the day off right tomorrow, just get your perfect protein or your Pure Path protein, make yourself a breakfast smoothie, throw some blueberries in there, throw some some of your green vibrants in there, and you'll get an immune boost for the day. Look, guys, I'm my goals, my pursuit, my better, my choice, my life. I do this for me, by me, for my family, for all of you. Like, this is why we stay healthy, because when we're healthy, the world's a better place. And so, look, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments there. I'd be more than happy to answer them. You can direct message me. But I just want to let you guys know how much I appreciate and love you, and have a blessed day. Until tomorrow, it's Dr.